What's up? What's up, everybody? Let me see if I can get it going on my phone here. Check out the comments. Been a while since I jumped on. Cool, got my comments here. So if anybody wants to join, feel free to say what's up. Love to know what you guys are working on. So, shipped something last week. It's an AI benchmarking code gen tool. And now I'm working on a tool that allows you to create OG images with the AI SDK. So let me turn off this re-render stuff so we don't just get blinded. But so here we got a SVG image here, and I could be like, create an OG image for Apple. And it just does some things. And I had a good draft of this like working, but I essentially kind of demolished it because I needed to optimize it for performance. So, and one thing with AI, they always get this mixed up, the light and the dark variations, because if it's light, it's intended for a light background. If it's dark, it's intended for a dark background. AI just always like flips it. And then with that benchmarking tool, I was actually like very curious if they knew. Oh, I guess I deleted the chat. But what I did was is I asked the question. I said, "Hey, if you have icon dark, does that mean that the icon itself is dark, or is it intended for like dark backgrounds?" And AI was smart enough to know like, "Hey, like that being that it says dark, it's intended to be the variant that's used on dark backgrounds." But for some reason, it always gets it mixed up. So it's a little silly. And then here, sizing is not OG image size. And this should resize it for us. So yeah, so it resized it by 1200 pixels by 630, which is kind of the standard open graph image here. Now I'm gonna say let's do create an OG image for Vercel. So here, wrong icon. I can't see it. And then, so what I really would need to do is I need to, currently right now when I'm writing the code that generates the SVG, I'm rewriting the entire file. That's really not efficient when it comes to the term of like token utilization. So I need to essentially do line edits. If you do a lot in Cursor, you're probably a little familiar with like line edits. Create an OG image for Cloudflare. Let me videos. So let's share this. Oh, copy link. Copy link. All right. So I want to start doing lives more often. Copy link. All right. So I want to start doing live more often. So I actually had a stream forwarding, so I was like forwarding all my streams to YouTube, Twitch, etc. But I took down that service, but it was a pretty cool library. I could just redeploy it if I wanted to. Alright, so hopefully we can get some people joining. I am looking at the comments here on my phone, so alright. Come hang out. Alright, so let's get back into it. So yeah, so I'm working on generating these OG images. And what's really cool is, check this out. So here's an image that AI just generated. I'm using the Kimi K2 model right now. So this code, right, I've written code that automatically generates this code. And what this code is it's the actual API route. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to just paste it in my Next.js app, right? Paste it right there. So we're at og/test route.tsx. And then if I just go to test, let's see if it works. So here's the OG image that's generated. So the whole idea is you're just like prompting AI, hey, give me some designs, right? I need an OG image for my startup. Give me some designs. It could get you like 90% of the way there. And then, of course, you have the code here, so you're in 100% control. You can fine tune it, you can tweak it to make it unique to your brand. All right, so let's do another one. So let's do create an OG image for Google. And I want to ship this. I want to ship this like within 48 hours. So here, create an OG image for Google. It's going to do its thing. Yeah, so here, then I'm going to do sizing is wrong. So it should always, I need to refine. Oh yeah, I remember I was actually testing my system prompt, and this is not like the official OG image system prompt that I'm using. Yes, resize it. So yeah, let's actually go back there. But for like AI generating this, I'm truly impressed. And what's cool about it is this should be dynamic, right? So if you were to grab that code, paste it in your Next.js app, I'm just going to duplicate this tab. So if you were to do that, okay, so something broke. Huh. URL is malformed. Never seen this error before. Oh, is that it? Fetch undefined. Oh, interesting. I got a bug with the fonts. So I'm just gonna copy this and then paste that in there and see if it worked. Yeah. But what's cool is that, so you have this here, and then you could just like take this description, right? You could throw that in here dynamically. And then what I could do, if I refresh, nothing pops up. But then I could pass it via the query parameters. There we go. So, pretty cool tool. I love it, and I definitely want to ship it. So, now that we know what it does, let's kind of set out what we need to do to get this up. So this is kind of cool too. You can actually animate it. So this takes it and then it turns it into a video. And I could say, make it scale in. I do need to optimize this. The code that turns this SVG essentially into a video needs to run in a service worker. So here now it's like scaling in. Let's see here. Why is it super? Let's just say it's not center. Oops. Yeah, here's where my computer fries because this is running on the main thread and it just like crashes. But I'm not too sure. Scale. Oh, start. Start should be 0. Yeah, so if these are all 0, it should be aligned right. Yeah, so if this was 0, it would be aligned right. But here, I'm actually going to tell AI, I'm just going to copy that and say, for video, want a reset icon to set to 0 for start X and Y for each. And it should do this. I ran out of my cursor credits already. So I've been running on auto. Jeez, yeah, so my $20 used up. Yep, so my cursor usage is done for, and I think it renews in like 20 days, so I'm only like 10 days in. Oh yeah, we got a long way to go. Here's a table that I was looking for though. So, alright. So I guess we're just using auto mode and we are coding. Alright, so let's see if it did the reset that I wanted for it to do. That looks good. Yeah, reset. We'll see what it looks like. Something simple like this, it should be able to get it right. No, this is exactly what I wanted it to do. So if you drag it, and then if you were to reset it, it would reset it to 0. Yep. So that is perfect. Alright. I almost want to go back to the OG image that was generated because I want to detect the bug in the font. So copy that. Preview. Description is not defined. Product Sans 500. So, is this a Google font? Well, I won't worry about that right now, but this essentially isn't a Google font. So it's trying to add it, and it's not working. But, alright. So here, let's go to our API route. Yeah, so I'm using Kimi K2 Turbo Preview. I do just want to check quick. And it does pretty good actually. So here, this was the prompt. Yeah, so here. So, wow, this is such a mess. This is an issue because of Grok, which Grok doesn't do a good job making this anyways. Yeah, so when you're passing these input schemas, Grok is like so picky, like you can't have an optional or partial or anything. Alright, let's get our tool calls in here. So usually what I do for tool calls, let's do assistant message part, and then here, yeah, memoize tool component. Yeah. So this app has multiple chats, and this is one thing that's kind of like killing my productivity right now, is having all these like different chats would essentially be like unmanageable. So I've been trying to like put them all into one, and then here was actually my first attempt of me trying to do that. So I built this chat component, and this entire chat component outputs this whole thing here. And then ideally you'd get like a sidebar where you could access your saved messages, and it would all be in all one sort of interface. But haven't finished it yet. But so what we're gonna do is this here, memoize tool component. I'm gonna import from components chat. Alright, so we need to bring in our tools close to right. So here in this tool component, we need to bring in our tools. But I do want to refactor something quick, but I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it. So app, let's look at my old code that was powering this. App OG. Yeah, so here's the old code. Alright, so here's my tool map. So that's what we're gonna bring into our one this here. Alright, so Alright, so here, what do you mean it's not defined? It's right here. Alright. Oh. Create a we should be getting our generative tool UI here. Tool call not found. Man, my code is such a mess right now. Modify SVG code. I see. Okay. Let's actually shorten these up. System message part tool. There we go. Okay. So now we got our UI for our tool. Let's do another one. And I'm actually just going to tell AI, hey, I need a tool UI for this, and I'll go polish it up later. So once this is all done, like once I ship this feature, I'm really going to work on a way to like kind of organize everything in my code base. Right, I kind of been just like throwing things against the wall and just kind of seeing what sticks. But now that I have a better idea for everything, I'm gonna take the time to kind of clean everything up. All right. Yeah, so I got tool UIs for search for images, delete files, read file, run shell commands, greet, query database, you name it. There's a tool for it. Yep. So here I'm actually gonna do a comment. All right, let me do Search Google icons. I want to check this tool. Okay, so that tool looks good. All right. I think I got all the tools. Created a Google theme OG image featuring the icon Google logo with their signature. Where did this code come from? Explanation. This tool has an argument called explanation, which isn't really necessary. Man, this is a mess. Alright, so that's good. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. Let me check my stop. Stop's not working. Stop is now working. Alright. So that's good. Just trying to get all the basics working here. And then I wonder if there's an option for me to set status. So here, if I did stop, if I did this, because the issue is that when I stop it, it's getting stuck on typing. Where I call stop, I should set the status to ready. Hey, sorry, I don't know if you're still in here, but just seeing your comments. Would you call yourself a good programmer in the language and field? I would say I'm okay. I know my way around a little bit. Right now I'm coding in JavaScript. This is a Next.js project. What language do you work in primarily? Alright, let's see if this works now. when I stop and call. Wow, I never heard of that before. When I call stop. You know what? Maybe this is right. Maybe this is right. So let's do this. Chat. Yeah, I really gotta refactor all of this, but I kind of just been scaffolding for now. So here, this thinking status, right? I don't see here. Status equals use status chat ID, right? And I need to pass this real status into this hook. So here, status, right? And then use action thinking message. It's going to be status. It's going to be optional because I don't want to update all of my existing usage right now. What's your ECF level in Java? Probably 0 because I never coded anything in Java. Status, what is this? Interesting. Duplicate identifier status. What do you mean? Oh, I see. Okay. Really gotta alias this. Chat stream status. Chat stream status. Alright. I will clean this up later. So, if is equal to ready, return the default message. So here I should be able to return this after this use memo here. Status. Alright. So here, oh, well, it's still not working. Let's try to refresh once. Oh, no, it did work. Cool. Alright. Nice. So when we stop a message, did something break? When we stop a message, we're no longer stuck in typing here, which is good, but we're still stuck in typing in this input. So to fix that, we need to pass in the status to this hook here. So here, pure prompt. Const status use chat. Already doing that. So then here, this use thinking. Placeholder status. Placeholder status. Const status. Okay, so I really need to alias this again. Where's the proper? I just got lost. Alright, this should work. Yep, cool. So now we got our fallback message, so that's working. Your code your code may look pretty basic, but despite that, I like that you're not wasting your time and do something productive. Trying to be productive. After all, we are still humans and can achieve greatness. Yeah, for sure. What languages do you speak? I only speak English. It seems like you're a bright star, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I've been trying to. I spent a lot of years of my life just trying to learn how to program. So I've been started off on WordPress, and now I'm trying to build crazy things with AI. So super cool that AI does help me learn a lot faster, and it does help me like ship a lot faster. All right, so what do we want to do now? So this whole thing, so here was the other thing that I was working on. Let's just go to it in production. All right, so here it was a multi-model benchmark tool. So it allows you to send like one prompt to multiple models. So this was a prompt that I previously sent. I said create a BeatPad app. It should be mobile responsive, and add it to the home page. And then at each model, so like Google, Gemini, DeepSeek, Kimi, they all have access to a React app where they could build it out. So, and then you do your little benchmark, and then you could preview it, and then you could actually share this link so other people can see the benchmark. They can see all the models that were used, generates a title, the first message slash prompt, and then it shows just fancy analytics, tokens, messages, cost, and then some charts. So that's one of the just tools that I built, and then I wanted to ship the OG Open Graph Image tool. Is this your job or just hobby? Right now I'm trying to make it my job. So I've just got to get some customers, and hopefully it becomes my job because, yeah. But so this uses the user's API key, so they can add their Vercel gateway API key, or they can add their Open Router API key. Yeah, I'm unemployed right now. I am looking for a job though. I definitely, if I had the opportunity to move to like SF, if I could land a job, I would definitely do that in a heartbeat. But yeah, so this users can add in their Open Router API keys, and then for me to deploy this tool, unless I want to figure out a way to bill people and then rate limit them in terms of how much token that they can use on a monthly interval, I will have to allow them to enter in their API keys in this tool, or I could just make them go to the playground and be like, hey, go here and enter in your API keys. But then I got to worry about saving chats and stuff like that too. So I still got a long way to go. I think it'll probably be like 2-3 days before I could potentially ship this. It's so hard. I apply at places. I don't get calls back. Like if I even landed an interview, I'd be like super stoked. Like I'd be super excited about that. Where are you from? Are you in the United States? Or are you overseas? All right, so we're gonna make this. What are you working on any side projects right now? I'm curious if you do anything with like Next.js, React, Tailwind, that ecosystem? Oh wow, that's super cool. I always wanted to check out Africa. Yeah, well, if you're ever curious on learning, if you ever wanted to learn something new, I definitely would check out the JavaScript ecosystem with Next.js and Vercel. If you're curious on anything you want to learn, I don't know. I've been having so much fun working with the AI SDK. So what this is it's just a chat interface, and that's what's powering this chat is the AI SDK and the other chats, and it's just been super fun to work with because you can have tool calls and you could essentially create like an agent. But all right, so what's next? So we're just gonna make this super simple, right? So I am going to get rid of this OG MP4 stuff. I do think it's super cool because you could be like, hello world text. And then you could animate it. And then they could download this and create a video of it. But what I want to do, I don't know if I should work on just shipping this Open Graph SVG image gen tool or if I should try to get this to generate an entire like marketing video. But hang tight for a second, guys. I will be right back. Need to run to the restroom. All right. All right. So let's just see if I can figure out a way to ship this thing as fast as possible. That's kind of the goal. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm just going to think of what is the bare minimum that I need to ship this. Bare minimum. So the first thing, I don't want to deal with billing, right? So I need a way for the users to enter in their API keys. I'm currently doing that here in settings. So what I'm gonna do is I want to reuse this code, this whole thing, this whole dialogue. I want to reuse it all. However, I need to remove certain tabs and I need to be able to do that. So let's get it showing on this view and then let's figure out how to remove things. And then I need to allow users to select the models that they want to use. Alright, so that's the objective. Let's take a step back. Let's just close all of our windows. Let's go ahead and head over to components. I'm in app, OG, components, app. Alright. Playground components, playground settings dialog. Alright, so here. Does this take any props? Yep, so it takes in is open, on open change, and playground ID. What is it doing with the playground ID? Settings, content, playground ID. Alright. Alright, so we got it showing. That's good. Now we need a way to filter in these tabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass an option. I'm going to create a prop. Interesting. What if, hear me out, what if we just created, if the entire items was a prop? I feel like that would make the most sense. So let's do it. Let's do it up. I do, what I won't like is the way I have to import these icons like in the prop. That's going to be a little bit annoying, but I think that's our best option because then we'll have a nice dialogue drawer that we could reuse. It's responsive, works on mobile, and we can resize it and reuse it essentially whenever we want. So let's do that. So let's search for our usage. Here's our usage, right? Boom. Put all of these right like that. And then what I'm going to do is notice that this state for these essentially routes are being controlled by a store. And that is playgrounds, settings, selection. I don't like this. So I wonder if I just tossed a rename at this, if this would break anything. I think it'll be okay. So I'm going to call it playgrounds, drawer, view path. Let's do route. And this, it shouldn't break anything. It should work. I just wanted more of a descriptive name. So what we're gonna do default to an empty array. And then here in this component, alright, I think we're in business. Perfect. So here, this was a legacy. We got nothing breaking. We're still alive, so that's great. Alright, so then here, in this drawer, now we need a way to trigger this. So here, app, alright, perfect. So now users can type in their API keys. Now we need to add a trigger. And then we need a way for users to select their model. So once I do those two things, I essentially, in theory, could like ship this. It will be rough, but that's okay. I think we could live with it. So, alright, so in my prompt box here, what I'm gonna do, let's check TypeScript errors because these will slow me down once I hit deploy. Menu items. so here, what I want, I need to put the avatar up here. Let's do that. So here, app, import. And then here, what is this? This should at least be 50 pixels. Yeah, that's okay. It's a little close to the edges, but I'm not gonna worry about it. And then in this account drop down, we're gonna add some tabs. Account playgrounds. I'm just gonna add OG SVG playground. Sir, I'm so sorry, but the AI will end this. What we coders do is take the problem into the algorithm, then to the code. Now the AI takes the algorithm and give you the entire code and text it. It's so crazy about that because the AI got better because us programmers are giving it better training data. I once told somebody, I said, the more good code that we write, the better AI is going to get because it knows what good code should look like. But I don't know. I really hope that it doesn't make programmers obsolete. I don't think it is. And the reason why I say that is because I like to see how AI increases my productivity. And I couldn't really get, if I were to try to prompt AI to build this whole thing that I'm doing, is from creating these SVGs in like one shot and just by prompting, I don't think that I would be able to get this far just by prompting. But it definitely does do a good job. I mean, it helps me, makes me so much more productive. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, so now we need an option to trigger. I need a different graphic for that. Count drop down. MDI image. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know what I should call this. So this tool, what it does is like you could be like OG image for Vercel, and then it will create the OG image for us. And just fix that color. Creates the OG image for us, and then what we could do is we could copy this, paste it right into our Next.js project. Oh, that's not what I want. Test route. Head over to OG/test. Oops. And it should work. Yep, there's our image. I don't know if I should call this like Open Graph AI. Open Graph, that's kind of cool. AI OG, I think that's cool. AI Open Graph, AI OG. Yeah, I think I like that. AIOG, that sounds cool. AI, sweet. AI Open Graph. AI Open Graph. I don't like that icon though. Here's the icon that I was kind of thinking of. Alright. Feels a little big. This is 0.8. Yeah, that kind of matches the other icons. Alright. So I gotta do this tool now. Search for company images with. Search for company images with. Where am I at? Memoize tool component. This code base is getting extremely large and it's killing my productivity. Next.js, components, chat, tools, Memoize tool component. And I also need to map search for SVG. SVG. This tool, it should be the same. Yep, cool. This generative UI tool. I have two search for SVG tool calls. One that uploads it, the other one that just returns it. I'm almost thinking maybe I should just get rid of one and always upload it. Alright, I got like 2 hours. 2 hours, I gotta deploy this. That's the goal. Hopefully 1 hour, because I may have to jump off in 1 hour. Alright, so we got this. We got our navigation set up. Now we need to be able to open the settings, right? So let's do app. This is going to be a div. Class flex. Item center. Gap. Need a gap x. Gap x of 2. There's going to be a button in there. It's going to be as icon only. Here's our settings. But when I do that, I need to make sure the route perfect. Alright, So I do not know German. I do not. Alright, so a user can visit this page and then they can enter in their API keys. So that's good. Now, what we need to do is we need to send the API keys up to the model, and then we need our endpoint to essentially use the user's API keys. We have done that in another route. So we are going to be reusing the code in that route that we are in this route. So first things first, what we need to do so it's very interesting because you build out one feature in your product and then you're like trying to ship another feature as fast as humanly possible. So you're trying to reuse as much code and then you're like, wait, I want to rewrite it. I want to restructure it. I want to have everything kind of live in a shared folder. You could do that. You for sure can. But at the end of the day, nobody cares about what your code looks like. They only care about what your product does and how it solves the solution for them. So my code, it's as long as it doesn't have bugs, if internally if it sucks, that's fine. I can always fix my code later, and I would love to fix my code for a successful startup, but I would hate to work so hard on something getting my code perfect to build a startup for it not to be successful. So instead of getting everything perfect, just make it work. So here, I'm going to need to do a lot of stuff here. I'm going to have the user select their model, but long story short, we're going to add, for this to work, we are just going to add a tab. We're going to add a tab, and it's going to be model. They're selecting a single model. They're going to send up a single model to the API. That's it. That simple. Here, model. Boom. Boom. All right. Perfect. Well, I can't guess this component name. I guess it's not going to be that easy for me. So API content. This has that component in there. The one that I want to reuse. Settings heading. I thought that's what I had. Component settings heading. Alright. Settings heading. And we're not going to be lazy. This is going to get refactored. Make sure it still works. Perfect. All right. Got the API keys. Got the model selection. So now we need the user to be able to select a model, and then we need to send that up to the API. That's it. So we're gonna reuse a store. As much as I hate like bringing in things like this, we're just gonna do it. TypeScript errors, restart the TypeScript server, because I always have to do that. So here in components and scrollable playground store. All right. So here what we're gonna do, playground selected model. Use for single model chats. I'm almost tempted to just take this Open Graph image gen tool and build it into this. So I almost want to take it, build it into this. User would press settings. They would have like a mode, and it would be like React app mode or SVG mode. And then instead of like the preview, they would get a SVG preview. And then instead of files, it would show a single file of the SVG code. So then you could like pull up the multiple models. You'd be like load preset, and then you'd be like SVG of an Open Graph for React, and then it would do it all for you. But that would come with a lot. So let's continue to do it this way for now, because we always could do it that way, but then we're opening up the can of worms for us to have support sharing of the Open Graph SVG generation tool. So we'll keep it like this for now. So we got playground selected model, and then we're gonna do playground provider. We're gonna set it to Vercel by default. All right. So then here we need to build a user interface for them to select the models. Select the model. So in this, there's going to be tabs. Import, tab, use effect, I'm just hacking this together. API gateway, selected provider. should work. And then here, pre, settings, models. There's our models. I need to refresh and make sure that on load, it loads up the models. Yep, it does. All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say, there's that. I need you to build out and before I do that, I want to give the selected model. I need you to build out a UI for the user to select a model, but this one is a single selection. Please reference this model, this component, and duplicate it, but only for single selection. And all's what I do is set this to the model ID. And this is a little bit annoying. This drawer that I'm using, I can't copy stuff in it. And for me it drives me nuts, but for somebody else it's probably not gonna matter. Alright, so let's just check this response. And then I'm just gonna looking for a small one. Yeah, so I'll just copy this. Here is my response. Boom. And then grab that component that I want AI to reference / duplicate and away. Playground components, model selection is what I'm looking for. Model accordion. Model accordion. Where you at, bro? Model accordion. Alright, there we go. Fire away, AI. Wow, you're done already, and I don't like the way it looks. I don't. Model accordion. Sorry, I got a little distracted. A message came in and kind of took me out of my flow. Components, model accordion. Well, I mean, I guess this works. Oh, geez, that just doesn't work when it's like that. Yeah, here's what I wanted it. So how this is like an accordion and I can select him. I wanted it like this, just within 2 columns. And I could reuse this if I wanted to, but we could always do that later. So I'm going to prompt that if AI doesn't do what I want it to do, that's fine. We are going to move on because essentially this is what we need. Like, the user can select models. It's not perfect, it's not the most pretty, but it gets the job done and it lets them select the models. We always could tune it up later. And like I said, this tool is going to be free. So it's like anybody can jump on it and create open graph images for now. So that's why we're not really doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, that is okay. I will clean it up later. But like I said, the number one goal right now is to just get it working. All right. So then here now, when I send this up, so let's go to our app. Yep. So I'm gonna do import playground selected provider, and then in this chat, I think I got the chat component that I'm reusing. Get body. I'm gonna do get headers. X gateway provider. Boom. Now pull up that component here. We need to add that to our type definition. I think that's good. So now when I send this message, network headers, do we see the gateway provider? Yep, here it is right here. So then if I go to settings, open router, I should then get open router. Bingo. Perfect. All right. Now, instead of using my API keys, we need to use the user's API keys. And we need, instead of using the predefined model that I've been using for testing, we need to use the user's predefined model. So let's head over to route. And then what I'm going to do, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways. In this OG route, I need to use the gateway header and init the model just like how I am in this file. Playgrounds. Route. There we go. And then I gotta do, I need to do something with the system prompt because I don't like it at all, just in my code right here. I'll help you update the OG route to use the gateway header and initialize the model and the gateway route and implement and make the necessary changes. Things are looking good, guys. I think that I will be able to ship this pretty fast. I think I'll be able to ship it in the next hour for sure. It's going to be rough around the edges, but that is no problem. It's all about just shipping stuff. That's all I want to do. I just want to ship stuff and see how it lands. That's my whole entire goal for the rest of 2025. So let's see here. How do I need to send up the model? Am I really supposed to send it up in the body? I guess I am sending it up in the body. And I guess what I kind of like the most is that me shipping this tool, like I'm not saving anything to the database, so I'm not worried about my database model. I can just like, hey, like create open graph images, test it out, save them if you want to keep them. It's kind of that simple. And the thing is that this is actually really cheap to do that, so being that we're not actually generating images. OG components, where am I at? I'm getting lost. Components. Get body. What? Kimi K2 Turbo on Vercel is $10 for output? That is crazy. What? Wow, that's tough, guys. That's a lot. Is that what Kim? I don't think they're charging nearly that. But whatever. All right. So I think this is working. Let's switch to Open Router. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that this is correct, that I'm actually using the keys and like I'm not falling back to my keys. So here, post, headers list, get headers. So let me actually delete this open router API key. Perfect, that's good, that's what we want. Okay, and then here it gets stuck on submitting on error. So what I need to do is in this chat, components, next chat v2 on error. Margin bottom 300 pixels, whatever. Border. Alright, so it's not perfect. It's not perfect. That's okay. So what we're gonna do, this is gonna be so super janky, but that's okay. Chat header, this header, we're just gonna do and then the default image is going to be, we're going to put it back to this one, just one that is the correct dimensions. And then here the store, where's my dimensions that I'm setting? I think I set them to 5. Yeah, so 1, 2, width, height 630. All right. And then this tabs. It's really not like me to ship products that aren't that good, aren't that polished, but I don't know, maybe something has come over me where it's just like, just get it out there, see how it lands. Get it out there, see how it lands. So here, I want to delete this OGM. I wonder if I could do an array of keys here, because I want mod A, mod no, it doesn't work. That would be super cool if I could. So what should I do for copy? I'm gonna do Command S. CMDS. All right, so, oh, that's good. Users can type in their API keys. They can select the models. I have to fix this. I can't ship this with this model selection like that. There we go. Perfect. I mean, it's good enough. It gets the job done. So now, the final thing that I can do before I can ship this. Let's do in this prompt. Alright guys, so if you're watching, got everything all set, so this is ready to deploy. So what this is this is an experimental tool where users can generate open graph images. So I could say create an OG image for Apple, and then, oh, that's because I started the build. And I wanted to check and see if it built before any TypeScript errors before I deploy it, because I'd rather be safe than sorry. Let's just try again. But no, it's actually pretty cool, and AI does a really good job at creating these open graph images, and then you can copy and paste it into your Next.js application and use it out the gate. So works pretty good, quite surprising. This was a test that I was doing trying to animate it, and the end goal would be to have AI essentially generate like an entire video of these fancy animated stuff. So yeah, super cool that this is gonna ship. It's not too polished, but it works. So let's see if we got our build. Because if I deploy, where did it get an error at? Error. I must be returning. Oops. My bad, bro. Yep, this is a little rough for sure, but that's okay. Man, I definitely want to play around with this video stuff. Like, it's super cool. We could, let's say here, if we want to. Oh. Come on, please build. 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 Alright, cool. So, what I don't like about this at all is it's not giving me an error, but when it builds, it gives me an error. So, ref object HTML. Alright, I think we're good. So, okay. I'm about to jump off because I'm going to do a video preparing for me sharing this. I can't believe I'm shipping this. Like, this URL that it's even shipping on is going to change. NPM run deploy. I hope I don't break anything else. I really hope I don't. Oh. Oops. So, I think the reset should be 1. Where is it at? Where's my code? That's not where it is. You're absolutely right. Alright, let's Vercel. Monitor the deployment. So there is no excuse in the world to have poor Open Graph images now. There's not. There's really just not no excuse. Huh? Huh? What is this? What is this? I swear I had that. Download. So that's the drop down, right? Oh, here I am. This isn't even mobile responsive, guys. This is not. Like, if you try to use it on mobile, like, it's not gonna work out. I'm sorry. Alright, guys, I'm gonna jump off. If you did jump on, thanks for just checking out this video and hanging out with me. And I'll talk